y'all, I'm Molly. Welcome to Do or DIY. There's something romantic about going to libraries. They remind me of Hermione, Matilda, Princess Belle, all of my favorite heroines. Even if you aren't a big reader, libraries are still awesome. At my library, for example, you can get instruments or iPads. My favorite thing to get from libraries are ebooks. I've literally never paid for an ebook in my life. I wanted to get on here and tell you that how, as a crafter, going to a library is a great way to get craft resources. In a world of Pinterest, Etsy, and Instagram, library books remain to be my favorite craft resource, and here are 6 reasons why. Reason number 1, going to the library makes you happier. As someone fighting depression, I find that getting out of my house at least once a day does contribute to me feeling at least a little bit happier every day. Now, on days when I don't want that to mean going somewhere and spending money, I like to take a walk to my local library. At a library, you can also find yourself having face-to-face interactions, and studies show that that actually prevents symptoms of depression. For example, when I went to the library, I ran into this cute little girl. Her name was also Molly, and I love other fellow Mollys, and I hope she's out there living her best life. Reason number 2 is that you can get good quality content from library books. Published books tend to be of higher quality, and when it comes to learning new creative skills and patterns, that's invaluable. Firstly, publishers have to consider the content that an author is presenting and their credentials before even considering publishing their book. Also, the fact that your library decided to buy this book says something about it as well. Secondly, professionally published books are edited, which means that you're not going to come across as many mistakes and patterns and instructions. I find this to be an issue sometimes, like with knitting patterns, and the difference with even one stitch can mean that the entire outcome's destroyed. So you really do want to get content that's been edited and is as perfect as it can be. Thirdly, the photos in books are of higher quality generally, so it's kind of easier to see what's going on visually with the instructions. Plus, the information in an entire book versus information in an itty-bitty article are going to be longer, more detailed, and probably easier to follow. This isn't to say that online resources don't have good quality content, but published books are more consistent in their standards. Reason number 3, library books are a source of inspiration. By using a craft book, you're exposed to ideas that you may not have otherwise come across. For example, perhaps you rented the book because of the project on the front, but browsing through the book, you're going to see other projects as well. Does that make sense? Also, you're going to come across projects and ideas that may not exist as blog posts, pins, Instagram posts, so you wouldn't have seen them unless you got this book. Number 4, which is one of my favorite reasons, is that library books kind of save space. As creatives, we need all the space we can get for all of the stuff we need for our hobbies. Library books obviously get returned, so they're not on your shelf forever taking up space. If you want to go back to the book, you can just rent it again, and you can also even just buy it yourself. And that means that you're trying before you buy, so you're not spending all this money on a book and then maybe not using it. This reason's awesome because more room saved by just returning books means more room for craft supplies. Reason number 5, library books are free. Library cards are free, unless you're going to the library at your university. Universities are not free. Usually books obviously cost money, but by just borrowing books, you're saving all that money that you could have been spending. Now, I still buy some patterns. I love going on places like Etsy to support small businesses and getting their patterns, but this does add up, especially if you're just trying to save $1 here and there. If I want to do something like learn a new skill, not just a particular pattern or project, then I will go and get this free book instead of getting countless other patterns and spending all that money as well. Basically, it's a cheap way to learn new things. Just remember to return your books on time and not accumulate late fees. I'm pretty sure that you can't run for Prime Minister if you have library fees. Could be wrong about that. Reason number 6 is that you can pretend to be Princess Belle. Just make sure you don't sing too loudly or else the librarians will kick you out. I may have learned this the hard way. Thank you for watching the video today. I hope you learned at least a little bit with me. Don't forget to follow Do or DIY through the links below. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, WordPress, and you can also subscribe to a MailChimp newsletter. When you subscribe to the newsletter, you actually get access to all of my free patterns. I have a ton of cross-stitch patterns, and I also have printables, so those are also free, just like library books. Imagine that. Have a great day, Glitterbugs, and stay crafty.